which leads me to my next question. How do you prepare for and deal with going from drought, mega drought, to deluge like this?
I think it's all one and the same. It's in so many ways it goes back to those early briefings with Scripps 10 years ago. It's exactly what they said. It's extremes. You know, I know people play a lot of politics with it and they laugh when it's snowing, saying, "Oh, how's Al Gore feeling now? Look, it's so cold back east in the winter." I mean, just that nonsense, that complete nonsense. And these guys, they're performance artists. But this is what they said. It's global not warming, it's global weirding. Hots are getting a lot hotter, dry's a lot drier, the wet's a lot wetter. It's exactly what they said. Whiplash, weather whiplash, these extremes. And so it requires a different mindset. And we have to manage now with the tools of tomorrow, not the tools of the past, because we established an infrastructure on stormwater capture, rainwater capture, and the like for a world that no longer exists. We have a plumbing and infrastructure was designed in the 50s, 60s, and 70s for hydrology and realities that don't exist today. So modern infrastructure,
so
new technology.
I wanted to ask you about that. I mean, here we are with all these rainfall events. It's coming down day after day, and I'm watching all this fresh water go out in the Pacific.
Yeah.
Is there something that you can do statewide to get some more of that water into the reservoirs? Because many of them are still below where they should be on average for this time of year. And yes, it's a testament to how bad the drought was, but it's also like, can we use more of what's coming down out of the sky?
Absolutely. Groundwater replenishment, wastewater management, stormwater capture. We put billions of dollars, $2.4 billion of federal money in the last 5 years in this space. We've appropriated, we have a new package. I just coincidentally was doing my budget for next year this morning, $8.6 billion in drought and flood management, new state resources, not a bond, real dollars. And the reality for us is around diversion, and it's around capturing these extremes. And one of the biggest projects on this front is a new conveyance system, a new tunnel, $16 billion project. Just finished its first environmental round. The draft EIR, as we refer to, it's done. Now we're getting public comment. We've got to fast track that diversion tunnel to help us through this so we can capture more of these resources and get them diverted into these reservoirs in a modern way, not based upon, again, the realities of the 50s and 60s.
Is the infrastructure bill going to help you?
The infrastructure bill is going to go a long way. It's profoundly consequential. And one of the reasons we're putting up so much state money is that it'll allow us to draw down more federal money. And again, I don't know that more evidence is needed of how essential that infrastructure bill was. We can point fingers on why it didn't get done after infrastructure week after infrastructure week. Thank you to those legislative leaders in Congress that got it done. Thank you to the President of the United States for inspiring it.
What has this done, since you've lived it with drought to deluge, done to your climate conviction in terms of climate change?
Look, this is a piece of the pier that's right behind me that just went right through the window. I mean, if you don't believe in science, you have to believe your own eyes. I mean, at what point are we dumb enough to believe all these naysayers? The reality is we are in a completely new world, and the evidence stacks on top of each other over and over. It's not one weather event. I get that. One extreme weather event is not climate change. But there are patterns that are pretty obvious and self-evident to anyone paying attention. And if you don't believe in climate change, come to California. We're living it.
Absolutely. And you having grown up here, and certainly seeing this area when it's at its most beautiful, what's it like coming back to see this kind of destruction from what really was a wave event, a huge wave event?
Yeah, I mean, look,
surge event.
I look around this state, and the reason it is so beautiful is Mother Nature's fury. I'm not naive about the earthquakes and faults, literally and figuratively, erosion. But look, it's the price of paradise. Same time, we're paying a higher price than our great-grandparents and grandparents were because of our own man-made mistakes. And California, one thing we are is we're leading the world, not just this nation, on a low-carbon green growth transition. No state in the union comes close to doing what the state of California is doing. And if you think I'm exaggerating, don't forget, California was the first state. I couldn't be more proud to initiate that transition by 2035 of all of our vehicles to alternative fuel vehicles. That's 50+% of our emissions in California. We're going to dominate this next big global industry. Not only do I see a brighter, more sustainable future, I see an economic powerhouse being born yet again in the nation's largest economy and the world's fourth largest, California.
So we're in the middle of this atmospheric river. These families keep coming in. What do you want to say to your state as we deal with 2, possibly 3, 4 more of these?
Well, it's not just the stacking of stress in the short run, it's the stacking of stress of the last 2 years. I mean, people are exhausted. Now the economic conditions are changing, so you've got the headwinds literally in that respect. As the economy appears to be cooling down on top of the pandemic's impacts and the dislocation, the social isolation, the fear. And now you have these extremes, wildfires for us the last few years, the drought and floods. And so it's about expressing appreciation and respect for the lived condition, for what people are suffering through, what families in particular, and parents, a lot of single parents out there, and what they're going through. And so just deep respect and empathy, and know they matter, we care, and that it's going to get better. And we're going to work our way through this. We always do.
Governor, thank you for your time.
Thanks for
Appreciate that very much. Good luck certainly over the next few events. We'll keep
Appreciate it.
telling the world, what's happening out here. That's for
Thanks
sure.
so much.
All right, guys, let's go back to the Weather Channel studios in Atlanta.